This week's discussion was an interesting one because we kind of forked off a little bit and we kind of picked the topics we wanted to talk about, either rationalism and its effects or John Locke. And I definitely put my discussion more on the side of John Locke. I think that his contributions are really interesting in our field, and I think that his idea of being a blank slate is really interesting, and that there's nothing in the intellect that didn't once live in the senses. I think that that's a very cognitive way of thinking about things. A lot of his ideas make me think of sensation and perception, which is an idea, a whole subfield of psychology that we have today, and something that I'm personally really interested in. So I thought that it was really cool to see kind of the precursor to where we're at today. In our discussion, we saw Benjamin mention that Locke had this idea that we had this bank of knowledge that came from everything that we experience in our senses, and that we can use it to basically help us navigate the future. We can use our past experiences and what we've seen before to be able to apply it to new situations and be able to function when we come into novel situations that we haven't seen before. And I think that that's really true because there's a lot of things that, or times that I find myself in a situation I haven't been in before, and I use past experience to be able to navigate it. And I think that it's definitely important, and we wouldn't be able to function if we weren't able to store the sensory information that we got the first time. And I liked Veronica's mention also of this idea of schemas. Again, I think that's really into like the cognitive psychology part, and again, I think it's really cool that that's where Locke, his ideas kind of led, I think, down the road, and where we are today, we would probably call him a cognitive psychologist, maybe. And I also think that that has a very, very big implication on education and education for all. If we think that there's this idea that there's nothing when we're born with this blank slate, and all we have, all we know comes from what we've experienced, then that puts this really big weight and responsibility on us as a society, because now we are fully responsible to make sure that children and everybody, no matter their socioeconomic status or their place in the hierarchy, anything like that, they need to be educated, because if we really don't have anything to begin with, we have to make sure that everyone is on the same level ground, or else society will never be fair and people won't get the opportunities that they need to have. So if there really isn't anything innate, it's even more important that we make sure that everybody is getting the well-rounded education that they need. I think that that's really important today too, and I'm really excited that we were able to talk about John Locke and his contributions to where we are today.